Well, rain in the sun. I don't know. This drought's for real. Shut down my little logging operation today. But let me swivel. All right, I don't know if you could see that. Sun, clear sky, stormy sky. But getting in trouble out here. My whole thing, I asked Aqua to come out and do a survey and whatnot, and they come back with all kinds of just political crap in a bucket, right? Right of easement and blah, blah, blah. I'm on a private road, and well, you know, it's $5,000. For $7,000, I could drill my own well. So Aqua, you know, if you don't want citizens drilling your own well, you got to make that system a little friendlier and a little cheaper. It's ridiculous, $4,700 to put in a meter. That'll cost me money. All right, enough of me complaining. So I washed this out today because I hit rock bottom, and that was good timing. So we'll see how much water will trickle in there. So this is what Uno's using for his water, and so I have a little 5-gallon bucket there that I pump out probably twice a day. I've got a bucket there, and then I got a Goodwill bucket around the corner that has a spigot. So I'm gonna have to go retrieve water and bring it in for him. That water there that's in there, a couple of 100 gallons, isn't fit for consumption. I'm going to use that for bricks. I don't even know where my bucket is. So a little bit of rain. Need a lot bit more rain. Those clouds are not very forgiving. I'm soaked. just enough rain to stop me from cutting logs and working on a house. But not enough rain to water up a poor old horse. So anyway, the drought's for real. So last time in 2010, when we had a drought, by 2014 we had record flooding. So I'm going to guess 4 years. I haven't gone in yet and taken a look at the rate. Got my system fired up. Well, there's still a little bit of a promise of maybe more rain on the way. All right, like and subscribe. Click if you want Texas to get rain. I don't know. I wouldn't even tie my success to the rain in the sky. I do not feel that I merit that kind of attention. All right, thanks much, everybody. Bye.
Well, but by the same token, 102 starting in June. The last time I got appreciable rain was March. There, 4.9 was normal in June, and notice there not even maybe 1 inch. Maybe my 240 gallon was filled up there. July, no better. I've got a high of 105. Zero rain, exactly zero rain. I don't know how a man can make it. Listen, I'm not enjoying getting my ass kicked out here by this weather. What a tough year to build. What a tough year to build. August got a couple of inches there, and but still all over in the hundreds. This is just day after day. Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, only instead of winter, it's Texas, and it's over 100 every frickin' day. And then inside those connexes is 120, 130, 135. This has been tough. I enjoy troubleshooting, but this is way beyond my ability to control. So, boy, I'm working hard at trying to be successful, but wow, what a butt kicking. And then, like I say, Aqua was a big disappointment to me in the cost and benefit. And then I'd still have to run my water line another half mile. So listen, all these problems are my problems, right? They're my problems. They're big boy problems. But I sure wish that it had been a little easier. Those folks that are used to the desert lifestyle and how to live, and they've got a little bit of resources in that people will do water delivery. Out here, I was counting on the skies to fill in the gaps while I did this build, and it's just not happening this year. Tough bit of business. All right, you can see from this little bit of water trickling out of here, it's just not enough over a course of 4 months. Now, I did do my water calculations, and they're spot on for what the Conex will gather through my downspouts. So I felt good about the calculations, but what I could not have calculated was a summer of no rain at all. This drought is really large. Just jump out and take a look at my initial calculations, and you'll see that they're spot on. The problem is I didn't get just 25% of the rain. I got none of the rain that was expected. But let's take a look at these numbers.
Today I'm going to talk about water harvesting, and I built a really clever way to water harvest off of your container homes. I've got the calculations here for how much you think you can get off of water harvesting, and then I'll drop out to the video where I actually build this cool little way to collect water immediately from your containers as soon as they're delivered. But a couple of different things here. Taking a look at just your how water off the top of your containers alone. 3,000 gallons is how much the average household uses per month. I went ahead and went to the EPA site, and I gathered up the details of the EPA, and there's a water efficiency there for single family. So they do a breakdown. There's 18 gallons worth of toilet flushing. Now I'm a single man, so though I'll end up using less than 2,100 gallons per month. But taking a look at what we can capture off of a roof here. So, 8 foot by 40 foot high shipping container, or your regular shipping container, your square footage will be the same. If it's only a 20 footer, you'll get half of this. So, uh, and these are best case situations. So, per inch of water that drops, you've got 320 square foot on that particular size container. And per inch of water that drops, you can expect 0.632 gallons. And that's in a perfect world. If there's no evaporative loss, if there's no runoff, if you don't have an early clean system so that it sweeps your first effluent clean and off. So that would be in a perfect world. So basically, that's 202 gallons of water per inch of rain. So taking a look here at what to expect in my neck of the woods, Flatonia, Texas, underneath U.S. climate data, you can see what your month to month is for your particular zip code. Just put in the house that you got, the location that you got, and of course, I went ahead and put in Flatonia, Texas, but you could put in any other address that you'd want up in there, and then you would be able to calculate how much rain falls. So you'll see that in Flatonia, historically, January is 2.47 inches, February, March, April, May. Well, all of these have been for the last year have been about 25% of what the national average. We are in a huge drought. So anyway, I took all of these numbers. These are best case numbers, and you'll see that May is supposed to be one of my highest points of having rain, and there's just nothing out there. It's maybe rained an inch and a half, maybe, if I'm generous, and maybe June's going to line up the same way. Uh, anyway, I took all of those numbers and I plugged them in. So the 6.32. So if we are going to get an average amount of rainfall of 2.7, then my first container would generate about 500 gallons of rainwater for a month. And you'll see I'm down, and a household needs 3,000 gallons per month to operate. So I'm a long ways off. If I put gutters on both of them, then I'm getting close. I'm up to 1,000 gallons. Now, 1,000 gallons might work for me. In addition, I'm setting up an evaporator that might get 3 to 7 gallons per day, which means I might be replacing what I use as a man. If I'm careful with my showers and I use a composting toilet, I might be able to make this fit. In between my two containers, I have the potential to put a roof in. I don't yet. And it'll be a 20 by 20 domed roof, really nice. And that'll be 1,250 gallons of water. So I can get about 2,000 gallons of water per month in the environment. I've already bought the materials that I need to build a cistern. I did go crazy. My cistern is a 5,000 gallon cistern max, and because I am never going to fill that up, I will never top that off. So if I take all of the months of rain that I have and their averages, and the amount of rain that I'll capture from each month, I get about 34,000 gallons of rain. So that's enough to run a house but I'm in a deficit situation right now because of the drought and because I'm in construction. I'm using a lot more water for cleanup, for making mud, and for doing this. Now, I have an ace in the hole in that I have a very large, probably, 30,000 gallon stock tank out in my field I can use for making mud, and I'm going to. But that could dry up. It could theoretically dry up. But for you who have have storage containers, you wonder how much rain can you get off the roof? Well, per inch of rain, I calculate 202.24 gallons, and that's best case scenario. If you could catch every drop. And then you could go to the EPA website that I gave you, the usaclimateday.com, and you can look up what yours is. And then I'll go ahead and put these links down in the YouTube channel so you can have them. And then you can read your EPA estimates on the average household. And you can calculate if you're putting together 3 containers with a roof over the top of it, et cetera, et cetera. You can figure out how much water you can collect. But for me in Texas, I'll be just making it just right for my house. Even if I have family over, or I guests or visitors, or do something crazy where I'm consuming water. I'm just going to make it annually just right with what I can catch from the roof. So now I'm going to jump over to the other part where I did something really cool for temporary gutters. If you don't want to drill and tap, I used magnets and duct tape. And listen, it was so strong and held so well. It held through a couple of major storms. We're talking 30 and 40, 50 mile an hour winds. And I had to go up when I did want to take down this temporary gutter, and I had to manually cut them down from the roof. In addition, they certainly met my expectations of generating the 500 gallons of water. So from that environment. Now, eventually I'll put gutters all the way around that and I'll start capturing it. But this worked as a temporary situation, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. All right. Well, I have not solved for my water problem, but I went and got that's my little Goodwill tote that I paid the $7 for, and went and filled that up for old Hank so he'll have water in the morning. So I'm going to put that on a pallet. Then I'll raise, and see there's a spigot right there. I'll raise it up, fill his bucket when I need it. So I get 240 gallons off of this when it rains per inch, 240 gallons per inch. And I have not had an inch of rain in a month, 2 months, I don't know. So anyway, I washed this all out and got it cleaned. And 2 of these a day for old Hank, and we'll see, he's already found them for tonight and filled it up. So what is that? Oh my God, 30 gallons every couple of days. My stock tank up at the pasture, the cattle have drank that dry. So I have not solved for water at all, and nor have I found a delivery service out here in BMF nowhere, right? What I'm told is, well, people don't make enough money on that. And all right, so people don't make enough money. So that's my solution for now. I'll make it work. But I have a couple of 3 days going to hat in hand and beg 30 gallons of water for an old horse. I don't know about that. He does have a stock tank. He could go up there and drink, and shooing him away from near the house is something I'll work on in the near future. But for now, I don't make do.